Greg Phillips, Australian musician, and I'm delighted to be here with CEDRIC Burnside. CEDRIC, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to do it.
You're on a tour of Australia. How's it been going?
Well, so far it's been really great, man. With 2 shows so far. This will be the 3rd one here in Australia, and it's been sold out just about every night. We started the tour off in New Zealand. We did 1 show in New Zealand, and so tonight I make 4 shows on the tour so far, and both of them, all 4 of them, been sold out so far.
Yeah, fantastic. You've got such a rich musical history, so I wanted to go back a little bit.
Yep.
What are your first musical memories?
Oh wow, man. My first musical memories was, growing up in the house with my big daddy, R.L. Burnside. Just as a young kid, 5, 6 years old, listening at the music he would play for us, on his guitar. And so that's my first musical, memory. And also he used to throw house parties, back in the day. And we used to just sit there. I was one of many grandkids that would sit there in amazement, watching the music,
Your dad, Calvin, was a drummer. Drums was your first instrument. Did he actually give you lessons, or did you just pick it up?
Yeah, well, he never gave me lessons. It was something that, I just had to, if I wanted it, I had to sit there and watch and kind of, mimic what I saw. But he never really, was around too much to give me lessons. But yeah, I knew just by watching him at the house parties that I wanted to play drums. And, besides just playing drums, I wanted to play that music for the rest of my life. I knew that,
The Hill Country Blues has some very different rhythms, different to other styles of blues. Is that something that come naturally to you, playing the drums, or did you have to work at it?
Well, I'm glad you know about the rhythms of Hill Country Blues. Well, because I've been around it so long, my whole life, it's something that just comes natural. It's like second nature to me now, But I was born into this style of music, and just growing up, as a kid, to a teenager to a grown man, I kind of had to still really get used to the unorthodox rhythm, and learn how to put the beat where it wouldn't normally go, or change when they wouldn't normally change, So I kind of just, got that down pat, and it became second nature to me. So now it's nothing to me. It just comes natural.
Yeah. You also play guitar. Did the drums have an influence on the way you play guitar?
I would definitely say yes. A lot of people tell me that I play my guitar, like a percussion instrument. And I do find myself doing that, and I like to say drums have a lot to do with that because it was my first instrument. But, I just really kind of do my own thing on the guitar. It's no rule to me on the guitar, You got some, I don't know what that was.
Some sort of beast.
But it's just something I feel like, to me, if it sounds good on the guitar, it's worth playing, and even if you can't read it off paper.
Yeah. So you started off on drums and had a kit. When did guitar come into your life then?
Well, about maybe 13, 14 years ago, I started pilling around on the guitar. I wasn't really, great at it. It's just something I really wanted, under my belt. But about maybe 7, 8 years ago is when I really started getting really serious about the guitar, and I didn't put it down. I just kept, picking it up and trying to, learn everything I could with it. And so, so I would say about 7, 8 years ago is when I really got started and really got serious about it. Yeah.
Also, when you were 13 years old, I think you went on tour with your grandfather, R.L. Burnside.
Yes.
For a 13-year-old kid traveling to other countries and playing music, did you fully appreciate and understand what was happening at the time?
Of course not. No, I did not, man. I just knew it was cool. It was cool to me. It was cool and it was scary all at the same time. For one, you know, being a 13-year-old kid, never been nowhere but Mississippi. You know, I was used to playing in the juke joints. I was used to the same crowd every weekend. You know, and to leave Mississippi and go to other countries where I've never been before, don't know any people. You know, the people was different, and the response to the music was different, and it was just scary to me. You know, and I remember my big daddy telling me, no, 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 you don't have nothing to worry about. Just do what you do. You know, do the same thing you do at the juke joints, and you'll be all right. You know. And so that's what I did. You know, I took his advice like I always do, and I did that, you know. And after the first song, you know, the people started clapping, and they was like, wow, you know, they loved it. And, you know, I had butterflies before, but they all went away, you know. Yeah. But no, I had the slightest idea what I was getting into.
Because of your grandfather, you also played drums with Junior Kimbrough as well. You've got such a rich history. People always talking about the past. Do you tire of talking the past, or are you happy to carry that torch and promote the hill country blues?
Well, you know, I never get tired of talking about the past, especially to people that don't know my past. You know, people that's new to you know, what I do and what this music is all about. I enjoy telling them about the past because I want them to know the true history about it, you know. But, you know, I played with so many of the guys from that area, you know, Junior Kimbrough, Robert Belfort, you know, all those cats really kind of paved the way for me, you know, as well as Ota Turner and Miss Jessie Mae Hipfield. You know, I played with all those people, and it was a true learning experience. It was a beautiful experience, and it's something that I will, you know, always remember and carry to my grave. You know, proudly that I got to have that experience with those guys.
Let's talk about your sound. You brought a couple of guitars out with you to Australia. I think it's AS80 Ibanez you're using at the moment?
Exactly, yeah.
What amp are you using that through?
Well, we got a Fender Bassman up there right now, and that's mainly what I play through. But sometimes, you know, we just used a regular Fender, you know, amp, whether it's a Bassman or a twin, you know, we used those type of amps. It carries the ballsy, bassy sound that we need, you know, with this style of music. But yeah, I played the Ibanez. I walked in the guitar shop and I played a couple of them, and I liked the tone of it. And the third one I picked up was the best tone, so I got it, you know. And also I have a Martin acoustic that I play, you know, I start to show off with acoustic, and that's basically it. You know, my two tools.
Sort of recently you've stepped out and played guitar out front, but I believe you're also spending some time on the drums as well on this tour.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to say, man, I'm so happy to step out front and give people more of me on the guitar. But I'm also happy to, you know, also find a way to incorporate the drums as well, because drums was my first instrument. You know, everybody know that, and so just finding a way to incorporate both of those, makes me feel very good, very happy, and I think the fans are happy that I still incorporate drums as well.
You're playing material from Benton County Relic, your current album, which was nominated for a Grammy this
Yes.
year. Did you attend the event?
Said it again.
Did you attend the event?
I did. I attended the Grammys, which was really, really cool. I think that the category I was in was a beautiful category. You know, me being the youngest, guy in that category was really, something for me. And the guys that I was with, I can't remember everybody, but I know Mr. Buddy Guy was there, and Mr. Evan Bishop. So just being, in the same category with those guys was such an honor, man. And I just look forward to the next time. Look forward to writing more music and regrouping and doing it again.
There were, I think, 12 tracks on the album. Did you have many more that you were playing around with?
Well, actually, going in the studio with Brian J, which is, he produced the album. Also, he's, playing drums and a couple guitar songs on there. I went in the studio to do a little session that he had, YouTube session called Jamming with Jay. And so we went and did that, and, that was like 15, 20 minutes took to do that. And we just kind of stayed in the studio. And we ended up in 2 days recording 26 tracks. And so 12 of those 26 tracks became Ben Canarelli. So we got another whole, album in the bag,
Do you have a concept or idea in mind or a theme for the next album?
I don't yet. I hadn't really sat and thought about anything, but I have wrote, more songs, more music, as I always do. Whether I'm writing them in the hotel room, or whether I'm writing them at home on my front porch. So yeah, I got more music coming, and when that time comes, I just figure out what I'm gonna name it and and when it's gonna come out.
Your grandfather released a landmark live album, Burnside on Burnside.
Yes.
Any thoughts of a live album at some point?
Yes, I have thought of a live album, several times here lately. My record company, Single Lock, they mentioned a live album, and I told them, I was like, yeah, I've been thinking of a live album. I don't know when that is gonna happen. It might be sooner than later, but who knows? We might pick up one of those notions and just record live, and it might be the masterpiece.
So what's the grand plan for Cedric Burnside?
Well, the plan is to keep pushing, keep writing good hill country blues, new hill country blues, and I always remember where I come from and let people know where I got it from, which is R.L. Burnside. So I thank him for everything, along with our Lord Jesus Christ, and I just appreciate everything he has done for the Burnside family, as well as other musicians who love this hill country blues, But yeah, main thing is just keep pushing.
Cedric, it's been great to chat. Thanks.
Likewise. Thanks for having me, man.